led from the start. Every pole the winning one, and it's Winning Colors showing the way as they straight away in the lane. Winning Colors doing it just like Kiwi Lucas said she would. And down the stretch they come. Winning Colors in front. Here comes 49er on the outside. Lucas and Stevens. It's a fighting finish. Winning Colors by a head. Wire to wire with Gary Stevens in the air.
It's Thunder Gulch, the drawing off. Thunder Gulch. Tejano run. Late run by Timber Country, but it's Thunder Gulch winning the Derby.
If you want to go by numbers, the fastest mile in the eighth was Cutting Humor. In the Sunland Derby, by far, Granite Mucho Gusto did the lion's share of the heavy lifting, carving out those torrid fractions, and then Cutting Humor picked up the pieces with Another Twist of Fate, who will probably be in the Preakness Stakes, finishing second. Then the Buyer's speed figures, the triple-digit speed figures. There's 3 horses with 101s matching 101 Buyers, and that would be Maximum Security, Improbable, and the defected Omaha Beach. So if you want to go by who the Randy Moss theory, who the fastest horses are, you can really kind of sort of pinpoint or sort of approach your betting in that way, just strictly looking at numbers, which puts Tacitus and Roadster way behind because they ran significantly slower. Lifts Vacoma just a little bit higher, simply because his time in the Bluegrass was a little bit better. Could be argued Roadster was running on a little bit of a now more deep and tiring Santa Anita surface versus what Tacitus ran against. You can look at those trends as far as numbers go. Speaking of numbers, Tax, who ran second, his Brisnet figures are very, very good. He's run some really strong Buyers. And then, Tacitus has also made the improvement when you look at the numbers. He's gone from, of course, a 75 to a 93 in the Tampa Bay Derby and 97 in the Wood. And then Tax has had 3 straight 100-plus Brisnets at 9 furlongs. And his 103, his top Brisnet, was better than Omaha Beach's. So that's something that you can, take as a reference point. And then when you look at looking at certain trends, of course, the favorites have won the last 5, 6, 7 years. And then, of course, the Wood Memorial, no winner of the Wood Memorial. The last horse that won the Wood that came to Churchill Downs and prevailed was Fusaichi Pegasus in 2000. The last horse to come out of the Wood to also capture the Roses was Funny Side when he finished second to the post-time favorite Empire Maker. So that, along with the Louisiana Derby, which hasn't yielded a winner of both that Derby and the Kentucky Derby since Black Gold back in 1924, although Funny Side also came out of that race. You can look at those races as being ones to say, you know what, no matter how much upside you think those horses out of the Wood have, there's a curse, and but many people are trying to break it this year. They really believe, particularly Tacitus, that he's going to run well, which I find very, very interesting. As far as post positions go, people think War of Will lost out getting the rail, but now Mark Casse, and I even thought before he did an interview stating that, we can do X, Y, and Z coming out of the one. He'll definitely be sent. Game Winner and Roadster, as much as I love Roadster, prior to the Santa Anita Derby and his Triple Crown prospects in the classic races, I don't like the post position even scooting in, so I'm not as crazy about him winning this race, but I do think that he may be able to work out a pretty good trip. He's going to have to be forwardly placed, but that first turn, Florent Giroux is going to have to decide whether he wants to send. I think he's going to have to send and then dip on in. Might be a little bit further behind. He and his stablemate Game Winner both, so that's something that, and of course also the weather. The track is likely to be off. How off it'll be? Will it be somewhat in the middle? Will it be wet fast, or will it be a little more soggy like it was when Always Dreaming won, or will it just be a complete monsoon like in 2018 when Justify, of course, carved out that wicket in tandem with Promises Fulfilled, first quarter of 45. So that's going to be something that's going to factor into the betting. It really reminds me a little bit of 2004 when the rains came a little bit at the last minute, and it really moved a speed horse like Smarty Jones and his compatriot Lionheart up, and those two horses ran like a merry-go-round around the rest of the track, and the others, including Tappet, of course, the now renowned sire, did not run particularly well, did not take to the going, and then, of course, it didn't help that Smarty Jones and Lionheart had their running shoes on. So that weather is going to also make some last-minute decisions varied and many, or many and varied, going into this Derby.